Emmy award-winning John Mulaney presents Everybody's in L.A., a special run of 6 live episodes created by and starring Mulaney that'll stream live on Netflix during the Netflix is a Joke Fest. The comically unconventional show will feature special guests where John Mulaney explores the city of Los Angeles during a week when every funny person is in it. Watch John Mulaney Presents Everybody's in L.A., debuting May 3rd live at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix.
I'm George Santos, and I'm here with We Are Not Journalists.
Coming up on We Are Not Journalists. Yeah, I'm not reptilian at all. I'm not. Yeah, I don't goggle with scotch every morning.
King Kong for him represented black people because I believe in his house growing up, every movie was presented as Birth of a Nation. Woo!
Yeah.
Welcome to We Are Not Journalists. I'm Maximilian Clark.
And I'm Walter Masterson.
Ooh, and Walter, look at you. You're so summery in your white see-through shirt. So,
It's
I was going to say tan, but kind of red.
Yeah, it's I was outside a lot this week. A lot of things happened. I don't know if you watch the news.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
Demoralizing depression. I only watch our show.
So yeah, a lot of things happened this week. As you know, last week was Earth Week.
Earth Week? Wait, hang on. I know about Earth Day. Earth Week. Doesn't that sound a little excessive? I mean...
I know. I mean...
I live here. I get it.
Yeah. Like, right.
You
So
don't need to rub your lifestyle in my face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I live on the Earth.
Like, oh, yeah. Like, oh.
I don't want to die.
It's very sanctimonious, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I live on the Earth. Oh, look at me. The hubris. Am I right?
Yeah. And it's very intolerant to people that may not live on the Earth.
I know. What about all planets?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I celebrated Earth Week with Pop for Climate.
You had a nice little soda and you just sort of like...
Well, Pop for Climate, they do amazing work.
Okay.
Right up my alley. I vibe so hard with them. Example is they were the people that shut down the MoMA a few months ago.
The Museum of Modern Art.
The whole ass museum.
Yeah, I could kind of see it. I mean, like, who needs a painting of a screwdriver? Am I right, folks? Get them.
Well, actually, they were shutting it down because of the museum's ties to Henry Kravis, billionaire, fossil fuel pirate, head of KKR.
Oh, KKR, you got to be really careful with the branding on that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's no art on a dead planet.
Fair point.
So they shut down the entire museum.
Great.
Yeah. And one of the recent actions, which I thought was hilarious, is they went to a $200 million home on Billionaires Row and started a protest inside of it.
Were there people living inside this home?
Yes.
Amazing.
We're
selling Girl Scout cookies and they're like, hey, can I come in for a second?
They had an event. They got in there and then just unfurled a banner and went for it. I said, okay. I hit them up and I said, okay, can I please be a part of anything you're doing? And they said, yes, you may.
So it's Earth Day?
So we all went to Citibank and blocked the entrance.
Citibank? But we need them for finance.
I mean, where would the world be without private equity? Am I right?
Imagining just like that meme picture of the Utopia. Everyone holding hands, singing like it's the end of the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Society without private equity.
Yeah, so they bought the entrance and you chained yourself to a bank?
Well, I was there being the finance bro.
All right, here, let's play a clip.
We need clean air, not another billionaire.
If I didn't care about climate change, how come I went to Burning Man 2 times? I once did ayahuasca with Woody Harrelson at a charity event. You know what? I care about the climate. I left my second babe upstairs, and I took some time-release Adderall. My second babe is upstairs. Let him in. He's with me. Never mind. You guys have the Adderall. I need my second babe is upstairs. This is my first babe. Okay, my second babe is upstairs. Would You wouldn't understand that. If we get rid of fossil fuels, then we'll be like Venezuela. This is worse than the time I sorted GameStop. We're going in right now to de-escalate.
Well, you showed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they did this, then they did it again the next day. So the funniest part was when we showed up, the police were already there waiting for everyone.
So what, they got tipped off?
I don't think they got tipped off. I think Citibank just said, "Oh, it's Earth Day." Like,
Just a guilty conscience.
Just call the police because, things.
Conscience.
Rather than us divesting from, fossil fuels or anything like that, let's just,
well, I mean, it's a lot cheaper to have the NYPD do it for essentially free.
Yeah, exactly. Do that. And, let's just, should we divest or anything? No, let's just continue pinkwashing. And
Pinkwashing?
Pinkwashing, when you use eco-friendly buzzwords to destroy the planet.
No. That's greenwashing. Like,
right.
All of our tree fellers are made from recycled materials.
Oh, okay. Pinkwashing is like Raytheon, having a rainbow flag on their Facebook page or something.
For Pride Month. Yeah. Whitewashing is when you cast
Reese
Matt Damon
Witherspoon to play Malcolm X.
Right, exactly. And brownwashing is what Trump does to his pants.
Oh, thanks for that education, Max.
So that was exciting. Also this week, we had to miss it because we just found out about it the same day. But Cumberland School District in Pennsylvania had kind of a run-in with Moms for Liberty.
Oof, dude, we both got separately invited to this, and I was so upset to miss it. It would have been so much fun to troll.
So Malik Pancholi is an actor. He played Jonathan in 30 Rock. He's done some voice work. He has a couple of books out. He was scheduled to speak just to the kids. Just like, hi, I am the most famous tier of actor that your school district is able to get, and I am going to speak to the students. And Moms for Liberty did a Google search and found out that he was gay.
And and that was it. They were like, okay, you're not talking to children.
Yeah, event canceled.
Shut it down.
And there was a strong reaction from the community, shall we say. And people,
basically because he's not a polarizing figure. He's just gay.
Right. And he wasn't going to talk about how kids should be gay or like this is how you do the gay sex. He was just there to say like, hey, I was from a small town and I made it. You can too. And Moms for Liberty was just like, gay.
They were like
he wasn't.
But to them, they were like, you questioned your sexuality at some point between K through 12, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, but the great thing about this is without our intervention, this just fixed itself. So here's a little, we are not journalists, good news of the week. Good news of the week. Literally without us doing anything, the local community came together and was just like, so it's just that he's gay? And Moms for Liberty was like, did we say that?
They were like, right. We have to have another. Wait, damn it.
Yeah, we have to have pretense.
Trans sports. Trans sports.
And they couldn't figure out what the pretense was supposed to be.
Okay.
And they just like, and they reinstated the event on its own. Yeah, it's just like they were just like, we don't have any excuses. And then they changed their decision.
They changed their decision and they apologized, which mind blown.
Yeah, wait, we never get to play these. Here, listen to this.
I'm sorry our actions on April 15th made some of our students, faculty, and community feel different and not accepted. I hope that tonight's meeting will help resolve our differences and bring our district, our community, staff, and especially our students the ability to move forward and come together as one.
Yeah, like how great is that? We never get to see stuff like that.
I mean, but he didn't mean it.
Of course he didn't mean it, but he had to say it because he didn't get away with it. And isn't that beautiful?
That is.
They wanted to be homophobic and they didn't get to this one time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's after Moms for Liberty was bussed in. Like we got the bat signal in the air because they were bussing people in.
Yeah, I love when a community reached out to us, said, we need your help. But they were also like, also we got this.
Yeah.
And like,
and the national media came into it. Good job, media. I don't know. It's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The thing makes me furious. Like the hypocrisy of it makes me furious.
What's the hypocrisy? What are you talking about?
These people, same people, 10 years ago, were laughing and laughing on 30 Rock when Jonathan had that 10-minute unedited scene of him giving head to Jack Donaghy. And now he just wants to talk about a book. In 30 Rock, where what are you talking about? Alec Baldwin, Jack Donaghy, he's having the scene, and Jonathan comes in.
He sucked him off for 10 minutes on the show?
Yeah.
Okay, is this one of those things where you watch the porn version of something and confusing it for the show?
You didn't watch the show. You don't know. Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
Pull it up.
Because Liz Lemon came in and they're like, we don't need you. 30 Rock below. This was a dream. This was a dream that I had.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But I'm still mad about it.
This right here is a good sort of metaphor, microcosm for conservative outrage. You were just angry about something that happened in your head that you imagined, and you were furious about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you explain that it happened only in your head, that you're like, well, it could have happened, and I'm just,
Yeah.
That it is the best.
Just because it didn't happen doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened the way that I thought.
Yeah, or that it didn't already happen.
Yeah, that's.
Are you telling me it never already happened?
And I feel like this is our kind of our go-to joke nowadays.
Yes,
when it comes to the monster
and we will beat this joke to death.
Yeah.
Okay, I will recycle this joke. Until conservatives stop
being needlessly problematic about all things.
Yeah, or just stop going off about things they made up in their head.
Well, while we're talking about beating things to death, about conservatives being mad about stuff that they made up, here's a clip of Charlie Kirk.
No, stop it. No, don't. You played that clip last week.
I play the clip every week.
I have a better clip.
Go on.
In the Civil Rights Act, though, let's be clear, created a beast, and that beast has now turned into an anti-white weapon.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. That's worse. That is. So are we just saying it now? Are we just?
Listen, Richard Spencer created an entire playbook for the alt-right, and they just threw it away.
He was just like, you can be as racist as you want, but you have to say these terms so you have plausible deniability.
He gave a whole list of dog whistles, pages upon pages.
And now it's just like,
he slaved over a hot cross, hours, days, nights, and you just threw it all away.
It's like, and now they're just like, oh, we can't have him speak, he's gay. And
the Civil Rights Act. Oh, terrible. Get rid of it.
Honestly, it's a huge step backwards for racists who are really entering the mainstream in style. And now I'm afraid that they're going to have to go back in the closet.
Oh, this is terrible. I mean, our whole job was trying to get them, expose them. If they're going to expose themselves, I mean, do I even have a job?
Don't worry, Walter. If you can't be an influencer anymore, you still have a bright future as a policy advisor.
What?
I don't know if you know this, but Tennessee state legislature has adopted one of your ideas.
Housing for all?
No, the one where you put guns in classrooms.
Oh, gun in every classroom. The students all have guns.
Yeah,
that one. Teachers.
Yeah, they took that idea. They ran with it. They passed it. It's the law of the land.
My God, ooh, amazing.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and people in the comments are going to be like, "That's preposterous. It's not every classroom." It's true. It is a mystery selection of classrooms from school to school. They're mandated to have a gun in many classrooms, but they won't know which ones, and they can't tell the parents.
Wow. So it's like a game show.
Yeah.
Like roulette.
Like Russian roulette.
It's like hide and seek.
And you know who famously hates hide and seek? Children.
Children. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, but no, don't worry. Like if the gun is hidden, children will never, ever find it. You've never heard of a kid finding someone's hidden gun.
It's like, show me one instance where a child found a gun somewhere.
Impossible. And now it's just going to be in a classroom.
We'll wait. I'll wait for you to go find me one instance.
Oh my God. Hey, what's the number one cause of death among children in the United States?
I don't know, the cancel culture or something.
Yeah, probably. You should look it up.
Yeah, let's not look it up or anything.
No, not us.
It's a conservative podcast. Let's not,
And of course, liberals will be in our feed being like, oh, this is inhumane. How could you be passing this kind of policy in a state that already enjoys twice the national average of homicide violence?
Yeah.
And this would just make it worse. But liberals, you don't know what inhumane is.
Yeah.
Like, we have been listening to a lot of conservative media, and there is a certain someone that I guess the rules of justice just
they don't apply.
They don't apply.
Yeah. It's just a miscarriage. Trump's second week of his trial.
Yep. Donald Trump.
Yeah, and they are just treating him like he's, just a prisoner of war and, the Hanoi Hilton.
Yeah. Right there next to John McCain.
Yeah.
Except for Donald Trump, in this case, is a hero because he has to sit indoors for 8 hours a day.
You mean like a job?
Just like a job.
Oh, my God. And he's got to listen to other people talk that's not himself.
Oh, my God. And this is a man who needed all of his security briefings drawn out for him in crayon. And they are using big words, and they're making him pay attention. And every time he falls asleep, they wake him up. Oh, and conservative commentators are just like, my baby. They are acting like they are going to a parent-teacher conference and they don't want to admit that their kid has ADHD. They're like, look at him, he's suffering.
Like, so what? So what? He throws his coat on the floor as soon as he gets back from recess without hanging it up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe,
He's strong. He's a good businessman. This is the man they want to be president. And do you want to hear a really stupid take on this?
Yes, I do.
Well, if you want a stupid take, go to the source. This is Jesse Waters talking on Fox's The Five.
Ooh, let's do it.
They trapped him in a cage. We call it a courtroom, but it's a cage. And he's like King Kong. And they're sending Maddow down there, and she's looking at him like an animal. She's like, oh, man, his hair is really orange. Look at his eyes. Look at his lips. He's angry. He's mad. He's upset. Watching him. They're not providing any sort of legal analysis. Joy Reid went down there, and he's like, well, he's bigger than I thought he was. I mean, they're acting like it's like a zoo creature. And what happens with King Kong? You remember? Boom. It's not going to be good. So he's going to bust out of this cage eventually. They're not going to be able to keep him down.
They killed King Kong.
Yeah. He took a white woman on top of a building, and it was frowned upon in the 40s.
I don't think I saw the end of that movie.
Yeah, it was a...
And they caught him.
The ending was a little weird.
So obviously we want to talk like the whole thing is dumb. Like, it's dumb because Jesse Waters has never seen King Kong, despite being one of the most important films. Do we have to spoiler alert King Kong?
Yeah.
It's from 1933. The other thing, they said it's the 40s. They're wrong.
They're like, yeah, King Kong dies.
Yeah,
he breaks out of his cage and he dies. It's kind of an integral part of the film.
Right. But on that listen, the thing that I took away from it is this clip.
He took a white woman on top of a building, and it was frowned upon in the 40s.
White woman, and that was frowned upon in the 40s? That is a weird way to say it.
Yeah, it's a weird way to say it. He's just like, that was back when white people mattered. You couldn't do anything to white people.
I actually think it's actually one of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that feels dog whistly. I believe that, like, King Kong for him represented black people because I believe in his house growing up, every movie was presented as Birth of a Nation. So they're coming for our white woman. Yeah. And that was frowned upon in the 40s. I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. And my apologies to Jesse Waters. I definitely wanted to shit on you during that for that take, but...
Way to go, Jesse Waters, for not being the weirdest person in the room this time.
Yeah. But of course, King Kong wouldn't have died if they had just made it legal to climb the Empire State Building.
Oh, right.
Because there is another court trial that's extremely important going on right now, and that is Trump's immunity trial happening in D.C. before the Supreme Court. And obviously it's nice that Trump was not able to attend because he had school that day. But some deeply unsettling things coming out of that trial.
Yeah, weird arguments.
Like
stuff that shouldn't be an argument, and we're litigating this.
Yeah, stuff that is thrown out as a joke, such as this. Okay.
If the president decides
that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could, and why? Because he's doing it for personal reasons.
He said, yeah.
Trump's Supreme Court lawyer, good on him. He didn't take any straw man, any hypothetical. They're like, is
it okay to just kill your political rivals?
He's like, does it have to be a rival?
Whatever you want, you're president, live it up, rob a bank, sleep with someone's wife.
He's like, we're here today because the president wants to do what he wants when he wants to do it, and doesn't want any crap from the deep state or the radical left. Okay, so just how many of you do we own? Okay, great, thank you.
It's so funny that this guy's able to find success representing Donald Trump when his party is so concerned over lizard people. And he says to they're like, I don't think it's fine.
It would depend on the hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm not reptilian at all. I'm not. Yeah, I don't gargle with scotch every morning to make up for my reptilian vocal cords.
It sounds like he worked in a cigarette mine. It feels like there's a certain lack of accountability. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, a little surprising from the Law and Order party.
Yeah, but Justice Jackson went on to say, sort of along that line,
once we say no criminal liability, Mr. President, you can do whatever you want, I'm worried that we would have a worse problem than the problem of the president feeling constrained to follow the law while he's in office.
And I feel like that's really what it's about. The president would feel constrained to follow the law.
Yeah.
And this is bad because then he couldn't be the American president.
Yeah, because presidents so constrained. I mean, look at them with, how much we bomb and the drone strikes and stuff, and being held accountable for drone strikes.
Well, actually, speaking on that, you sound a lot like Justice Kavanaugh, who had the most wildly out of touch take.
Oh yeah, his was Ooh.
How about, I think it came up before, President Ford's pardon.
Pardon of Nixon.
Very controversial in the moment.
Yes.
Hugely unpopular, probably why he lost in 76.
Yes.
Now looked upon as one of the better decisions in presidential history, I think, by most people. If he's thinking about, well, if I grant this pardon to Richard Nixon, could I be investigated myself for obstruction of justice?
One of the better decisions made by presidents was pardoning Nixon?
And it was considered that by most people.
This guy does not realize the echo chamber that he's in.
Most people is doing so much work.
Because he goes on to say, okay, well, what about drone strikes?
How about President Obama's drone strikes?
So the Office of Legal Counsel looked at this very carefully and determined that, number one, the federal murder statute does apply to the executive branch. The president wasn't personally carrying out the strike, but the aiding and abetting laws are broad. And it determined that a public authority exception that's built into statutes and that applied particularly to the murder statute because it talks about unlawful killing did not apply to the drone strike. So this is actually the way that the system should function. The Department of Justice takes criminal law very seriously. It runs it through the analysis very carefully with established principles. It documents them, it explains them, and then the president can go forward in accordance with it.
Okay, so the constraints, this is a system that, this is constraining. Obama was not prosecuted for drone strikes. And Donald Trump was like, oh, so many constraints. How do you even do it?
Well, because it's the nature of the thing. I want to point out that the point isn't that the drone strikes were okay. It's that when we look at something like that, they did, and they're like, this is an official act. And if it weren't, we would have prosecuted him. Yeah. Right? Because that's the whole argument. It's like, you can't be president because, I don't know where the line is. But they're saying that these regulations that the conservatives are so afraid of already exist. Presidents understand that you're not supposed to break the law willy-nilly. Because, what are we talking about? President Trump isn't being investigated for passing legislation or, appointing someone to federal office or commanding our armed forces.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, half the stuff he's being investigated for and indicted for didn't even happen as president.
Oh my God.
Right? Stormy Daniels, before he was president.
Okay, yeah, before he was president, the hush money case, yeah. And
the Florida documents case?
That was after he was president.
Right? And so like the really...
keep going. Keep going.
New York civil investigation into his fraud, that was, I don't know, a lifetime worth of fraud. Like all the civil cases...
That was not during his presidency. That was before his presidency, yeah.
And so really the only case that they're really talking about is the trying to steal the election bit.
Or the fake electors.
Right. So
and
like
then calling the Attorney General, Raffensperger, to try and get him to change the vote count.
Right. And the fake electors thing in Arizona, which hasn't even popped yet, the Georgia thing, January 6th. What is the thing that they are worried that a president might confuse as an official act? It's like, oh, geez, I don't know if this coup d'etat is legal.
Yeah. I mean, they were able to separate families at the border, no problem.
Yeah.
They were able to write it down and do it in a way they were like, oh, well, we didn't.
And he's not being prosecuted for that.
No.
Right? And no one is even suggesting that, even though it is amoral and reprehensible. And so the Supreme Court is trying to like make it seem like, well, what about the drone strikes? Like, how do we know what an official act is when they're not looking at the case?
By the way, Trump was good at drone strikes. He did his drone strikes. Also had legislation.
He wasn't as good because he didn't read the intel, so he didn't know where to send them.
Well, they also did a ton of drone strikes, and they also had new policy that let them not have to report the collateral damage like they had to before. So there were tons under him.
Sure. But the point is...
Which he's not being prosecuted for.
But the point is they're making it abstract, like a president can't do his job. But that requires us to pretend that the things that Trump is being prosecuted for were job adjacent.
Yeah.
And they weren't. Nothing he's being prosecuted for has anything to do with the job of being president. And if you can't make that distinction, why are you on the Supreme Court? Anyways, when we come back, we are going to give you a guide to how to protest and talk about some good things that Biden has done.
In the midst of the,
Yeah, we'll get there. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Are Not Journalists.
I'm Walter Masterson.
I'm Maximilian Clark. Nice to meet you.
So this next segment is called Great Things That Joe Biden is Doing that everyone would totally love and bring him up in the polls if it wasn't for that genocide thing that's dragging him down.
Great things Joe Biden is doing that everybody would totally love and bring him up in the polls if not for the genocide that's dragging him down.
Yeah. It rolls off the tongue.
It's smooth as silk.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to hear it live.
Yeah.
So Biden this week, his agencies, federal agencies across the board have been just hitting banger after banger. It's been incredible. It is a great time to be an American. The FTC has ruled that non-compete agreements and contracts, no bueno. Tossed them out. Never again.
Yeah. Great.
Right?
Wonderful.
So all those times that you work in an industry and your employer is holding it over your head that if we fire you, you cannot work in the field that you're trained in, gone.
Yep.
Love to see it.
And that's why they argue that's why California became a massive tech hub because that state was like, nah, bro, we don't do that here.
Now it's nationwide. They have also completely overhauled how overtime works, giving overtime benefits to, I think, 40 million Americans.
Yeah. Amazing.
Which is incredible. Net neutrality. Remember when Trump's FCC was just like, hey, we're going to side with Verizon and make it so internet service providers can charge more for going to Netflix? No longer a thing. Biden's FCC, boom, knocked it down. Victory for the common man. And you know how American Airlines sticks you with vouchers when they cancel your flight last minute?
Yeah.
They have to give you cash.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Biden's administration is just like, hey, you're using this to overbook all your flights. And now they're giving them a strong disincentive to do that.
Okay, protecting labor, protecting consumers.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
This is what I want, because people don't understand what a president does. President's main job is to get all the federal agencies working correctly to make those appointments so that they serve the American people. Biden is killing it. I love him.
Yeah. And your argument with me is that you're like, oh, the whole, unconditional support for Israel. That's bipartisan.
It's not unconditional. It is very loosely conditioned.
I mean,
no, but it is an important distinction, because one side really just wants all of Gaza carpet bombed, and the Democrats are like, not carpet bombed.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, well, let's send aid with the bullets.
Yeah. No, but Biden actually had a talk with Netanyahu earlier today, maybe yesterday, and was really doubling down on the idea that you're not doing a ground offensive in Rafah. You're letting our aid through, our $10 billion that we just passed in aid to Gaza. That gets through, and
so
you don't...
$9 billion, whatever.
Yeah, 9.6. And that gets through. And it is such a small difference. I understand that America's unwavering support of Israel is still very much unwavering. That's a little better. That's all we get. That's all we get in elections. I know it sucks, but don't just take it from me. Take it from this random guy. No. Who is this?
Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi Hassan actually makes one of the better cases for supporting Biden. And Mehdi Hassan has been incredibly critical of Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's
as critical as I am.
And you know what? Continue to be critical of Joe Biden. He's not perfect.
Yeah.
And he's not perfect.
This is his
But this
argument.
is an important take.
Yeah, very important take.
I wish Joe Biden would understand what's going on with the Palestinians as well. Oh, good. My issue with Joe Biden is not the statements or the rhetoric.
It's the policy.
It's the policy. We see this stuff. We see all these. He doesn't like Netanyahu. He's very upset behind the scenes. A lot of leaks to Barak Ravid and other reporters. Great. Come out and say it in public. Come out and say it in public, and come out and do something about it. Also, politically, who in this country likes Benjamin Netanyahu? Why are you going to bat for Benjamin Netanyahu? Why are you risking American democracy for Benjamin Netanyahu? Why are you risking your re-election for Benjamin Netanyahu? Why? Who does Benjamin Netanyahu and Itamar Ben-Gvir want to be the next president of the United States? They say Trump. So, from that perspective, as critical as I am of Joe Biden, and I am very, very critical of Joe Biden on this issue, the reality is the people we loathe, I think most of us loathe in the Israeli government, they want Donald Trump to be president. So I think we should bear that in mind when we go to the polling stations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I mean, if not for that reasons, then maybe the Supreme Court. But it is one of those situations. And yeah.
Oh.
So anyways, some big wins for old Dark Brandon.
Yeah, big wins. He's down in the polls, by the way. Down, wherever you're like, okay, get up.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, people are going to be inundated with Trump falling asleep and pooping himself for the next 6 weeks, and I think that's going to level it out a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's definitely not a great time. It's definitely not a great time to be a Democrat.
No.
It's
not a good time to be pro-Palestine and
Whoa.
Palestine.
Okay, so I mean, obviously we just did this segment, but Walter, this isn't the time nor the place to talk about Gaza. All right.
Right. If I wanted to protest and stuff, I'd have to do it, maybe on a college campus.
Whoa. First off, people pay a lot of money to go to college campuses. They don't want to go there and have someone try to change their mind.
That's right. It's like you think of college campuses and you're not really supposed to challenge people's beliefs.
Right, exactly. I mean, look at what's happening at Columbia, where on Monday, students were given a 2 p.m. deadline to vacate if they wanted to graduate in good standing, and deadline passed. They're still there. That's not good. Hey gang, it's Max. In the days since we posted this, the students at Columbia had moved their encampment indoors and taken control of a building, which literally means just sitting inside of it instead of outside of it, and were raided by the police. So a lot of them are faced with jail time and expulsion. And keep in mind that these were peaceful protesters. They weren't agitators, they weren't burning things or killing things, they were expressing a political opinion. So if you have a problem with that, why don't you let Columbia know? All right, back to the episode. And also, Chuck Schumer doesn't feel safe.
All right, people are protesting outside of his house. Jewish Voice for Peace held a Passover Seder outside of his house.
Yeah, I know. It's Passover week. During this most holy week of Pesach, Chuck Schumer had to deal with, Jewish people protesting Israel.
Yeah.
Well, do you still have the police clear them out violently?
I mean, probably.
Oh, yeah, I think there were 200 arrests.
Yeah. The police were like, it's like, I think it's Jewish people holding a joint Seder. It's like, Hamas.
Yeah.
It's Hamas.
Yeah, they're Hamas. Well, because it's like, honestly, it's dangerous. Because you were there, you were at Columbia, and you know it's dangerous. You had people like tear apart your sign,
God.
rip clothing off your body.
I mean, I went there to talk about Star Wars. I thought, Columbia was a great place, to go to and in a stormtrooper outfit.
Well, yeah, because you are strongly pro-Empire.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, Alderaan should be thanking the Galactic Empire.
Oh, my God. So, here, let's take a look at what happened.
Yeah.
The Empire did nothing wrong. Moff Tarkin blew up Alderaan. The liberal media is not going to tell you that. The Rebel Alliance kidnaps children and they indoctrinate them to talk about Star Wars. Wait, is there a Star Wars area? Wait, there's a special area to talk about Star Wars. The Mandalorian uses Baby Yoda as a human shield. How are they doing? We're going to talk about Star Wars. Some people just don't want to talk about Star Wars. I was talking about Star Wars. You're from Fox News?
I'm going to be on Fox tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So, So the Mandalorian was using Baby Yoda as a human shield. The liberal media doesn't talk about how Alderaan was being used as a base for the Rebel Alliance. Say what you want about the Sith Lord, but I mean, he dealt with the Trade Federation and that whole blockade of Naboo.
Okay, and for those who are a little bit less familiar with Star Wars, could you draw the analogy a little bit more?
You want to start with episode 1. You see
how does that connect to this issue or why you're out here today?
What issue? What's going on here? What is this? Oh, Israel? Oh, huh. Hard to say, really. Thank you.
Yeah, see, look, it's violent. Like you're there defending the Empire, and so the protesters just manhandled your body.
Yeah,
assaulted you,
and that's the protesters that the media is talking about. Am I right?
Yeah, right. Because those were pro.
They were they hated the galaxy. Anti-galactic Empire protesters.
It does seem like they have a lot of Israeli flags, though.
That is okay.
Well, okay. So
the people with the Israeli flags really hate Star Wars.
Yeah,
mostly Trekkies, I guess. I don't know. Go figure.
I think that's the most divisive thing you're going to say this entire episode. I think that there's people that are like, oh yeah, down with Israel, yet support Biden. Trekkies, cancel, unsubscribe, declick the bell. But as dangerous as this was, I want you to envision an even more dangerous scene. You're in a park. You're a white woman walking her dog, and there's protesters, and you walk up to them.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Oh, wow. Wait. That sounds so dangerous. Show me the video.
Yeah. So here's the video of this poor woman calling the police. And the other voices you hear are the protesters standing 7 feet away from her.
Is not in harm's way. Nobody is going to hurt them. Nobody is going to attack them. This person is not in harm's way.
They're free to leave.
Nobody is going to hurt them. Nobody is going to attack them.
And they're also making sure not to misgender them.
Yes, right now they're really fighting. This person is not in harm's way. I need funds, genocide. I need help. I know that, but they're surrounding me. They won't let me move.
No, you are free to move. You are free to move. She is free to move.
This is also on video, and there is just such a wide space around her. Just like there's only on one side.
She's free to move. She's free to leave. She is free to leave.
The
No
dog
one is
is
surrounding
tugging her away. The dog's like, just
She's
go this
free
way.
to leave.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Just counting them for the police.
Universities or students. They're surrounding me.
She's free to leave. No one is surrounding her.
No one.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, this is, if you are someone who's considering calling the police over something like this, throw your phone in a dumpster. You don't deserve it. You don't get to have a phone.
Call the cops, or you said kill the cops?
Did I say kill the cops?
Yes.
Oh, I'll take it one more time. So if you find yourself in this situation where you are not in danger, but you're thinking of calling the police in order to create
Weaponizing state
danger,
violence against someone.
yeah, and you're not sure, like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? I want you to take your phone and I want you to throw it in a dumpster.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
Also, the absolute gall of this person. They know they're being filmed.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is going on the internet, obviously.
This is, by the way, a crime in a lot of states.
Yeah. And like, I'm just going to lie to the police, and I know that they're filming me.
Yeah.
And I'm 8 feet away from anything. I came up, I started this.
Everyone has their hands in their pockets or sitting down. They're just like, you came to us. And, it's funny because this isn't the only time this has happened recently.
Oh my God.
Because there's that other lady.
This other genocide denier, apartheid enthusiast. And it was terrible, Max. She went to the UCLA campus to, dox people, take stuff out of context, make them look stupid and delegitimize and all
What
that.
we do, except for evil.
Except we do it at rallies where everyone is stupid. We're
Yeah.
like, people are like, oh, you found the dumbest person there. I'm like, this is a rally next to a cornfield. Relax.
Yeah. But and you brought up the point that, if she had actually successfully talked to anyone who wanted,
they would have put her through a wood chipper. Like,
yeah.
This is like, she's an influencer who's like famous for dance videos.
Oh, she's branching out now?
Yeah. And
over this?
I could not wait for the NPC dialogue.
Yeah,
for her
like,
to spit out.
I think they were smart not to talk to her though, because she controls the edit, right? If she really worked hard, she could maybe make it seem like she won.
Well, there was that time when what's the girl who shit her pants in college?
The girl who pooped her pants at Kent State.
Oh yeah,
Caitlin Bennett.
Yes. Okay. So Caitlin Bennett, who shit herself in college one time, she did something. She did this video where she went to Rutgers. And she was like, oh, I'm going to dunk on them and troll them about communism. And she wound up talking to 2 students that are the head of the Democratic Socialist chapter for Rutgers. And it was just a 30-minute video where they're like, nope, that's not true. That's not how that worked. It was almost educational. And
you're just watching it. It's just like, yeah, like have you considered that maybe she's doing what we do? And just like giving them a forum in order to express.
It was like unedited. And she watched it and was like, yeah, looks like I won this debate. And
post.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, historically, that's not the worst disaster to come out of Kent State, but it's up there.
Okay, wait, what else happened in Kent State?
Well, if we go back in our time machine to when boomers were young.
Oh, wow.
There's actually this nice little clip on the Kent State massacre.
And if they can't get control of it on the university campus, there is an appropriate time for the National Guard to be involved.
What do you think about the shooting at Kent?
The people weren't behaving properly, and apparently they have asked for that sort of thing.
So you think the guard was justified?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry they didn't kill more.
Really?
Yes, because they were warned and they knew what was happening and they should have moved out. If that's what it took to break them up, well, then that's what it takes.
Right after the shooting, we were ordered off campus. We had to leave. So I got home, my mother wasn't there. My father walked in the back door and he looks at me and he says, they should have shot all of them. And I said to him, and I never talked back to my father, I said, don't you know then that one of them, those people would have been me? And he just walked into the other room.
Someone made this horrific parallel. They said, all right, this is like, they were like, wow, Kent State happened in a year when, the Democratic convention was in Illinois, in Chicago, and Bobby Kennedy was running for president. And it was like the parallel, you're like, this is such a bizarre alternate universe parallel. It's like, yeah.
Well, it's like all those 1920s things where it's like, oh yeah, but there was a plague and war and
yeah, it was like, this is such
financial
a weird parallel. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this all goes to say that, like, we've said this before. Protest is becoming extremely criminalized in this country. It's not safe and you shouldn't do it. And so we wanted to present a series of ways to protest safely.
Yeah. Protests are made to not disrupt anything at all,
right,
or make anyone else feel uncomfortable.
Or even like aware of the thing.
Maybe in the streets, not on a college campus?
No, if you do it on the streets, you might block traffic, and then you'd have Senator Tom Cotton coming along and throwing you off a bridge or hitting you with his car.
Right, okay.
Or swinging his big old neck and hitting you.
Yeah, like, so, okay, so not outside of a college campus, maybe like
not on a college campus, not on the streets.
Maybe like on the internet.
No, that's cyberbullying. We can't condone cyberbullying.
Okay, all right. So
yeah,
maybe.
No, you see, this is old thinking, and so don't worry, Walter. I have a list of ways that anyone can protest.
Oh my God!
Max's Guide to Protest. So one, obvious. Whisper your protest to a candle as you're blowing it out at night.
Oh my God.
Don't murder children. Right?
Yeah. Like,
not only does it feel good,
children.
It smells good, depending on the candle. And that's not up to you. Or you can take all those feelings and you can write them in the margins of Milton Friedman's Capitalism and Freedom. And you put it back on the shelf of the public library.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone will discover that and they'll be like, oh wow,
God.
They were killing children?
Yeah.
You could tell a butterfly.
Oh, like with Gandalf and how he escaped.
Yeah, see? Gandalf found his freedom. He rescued hobbits. Whispering your protest to butterflies is the perfect solution to genocide. But if you're worried about eagles and you still want to protest in a way that no one will ever be affected by it, you could take it and put it as a happy birthday message on the Jumbotron of an Oakland Athletics baseball game where truly no one will ever see it.
Oh my God, that is a low blow.
No one will see it, I guarantee it.
Wow. Oh, you went there.
Yeah, and I guess if you really want it safe, you can just take your protest and engrave it on the barrel of a gun and bring it to any classroom you want in Tennessee.
That's a fantastic way to protest. Less likelihood of you getting arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, just write your protest on a gun.
Honestly, people talk about the Second Amendment protecting your First Amendment. That, I think, is the best way to do it.
I mean, I think when you're right, you're right.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not like you have a tent. It's just a gun.
I know. God, it's like tents. Oh. I think about it. I get the creepy crawlies.
Do what you get.
What?
Tents. Want to make a phone call?
Yeah.
If you're feeling too tense, I can help you calm down. Call a friend.
Thank you for calling the Central Texas office of U.S. Senator Ted Cruz. We are currently unavailable at this time. Please leave a brief message with your name, phone number, email address, and zip code. Thank you.
So we saw in an ad on our own YouTube page that you're only within 1 percentage point of your political
rival.
opponent.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it's like you're just within 1 point of losing, and you're asking
in
our
Texas.
In Texas.
In your own state.
Jeez. I mean, and I can't imagine what a complete piece of shit you'd have to be in danger of losing a Republican seat in Texas.
Yeah. I mean, what a piece of shit loser
would
even get that low in the polls.
Oh my God. And to
in
have
Texas.
no one at the RNC willing to back you up, even though you sniveled back to Trump. Anyways, he's a coward and a snake, and I hope he loses. Thank you. Fuck you.
Well, fuck you.
Feel less tense?
Yeah. Ooh, that felt good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So anyways, if you're at home and you have a political opinion, we have a comment section. Don't you dare.
Yeah, don't put your political opinion in the comments or voice it on campus or in the streets.
Or to your friends.
Yeah. Just
or online, don't write letters. Don't fax your local representative. They have to receive those faxes, by the way.
Yeah, and definitely don't vote. At all. Don't vote.
And especially don't vote now in primary season.
Yeah, don't vote in primary season. It's not like AIPAC, put like $100 million to war chest to, make sure their people all won the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And go watch King Kong. It's a heck of a film.
Yeah, not Birth of a Nation.
No,